All right. Good morning and welcome to another session with Coach Ray, the market trader, and welcome to another pre-market analysis session. Okay. So I apologize for the delay. Had some technical difficulties this morning, but I'm up and running now. So wanted to jump into the markets here now. So before we get started, let's go ahead and review our risk disclosure. Okay. And then again, just want to remind everyone that the content that's being published and distributed by the market trader and its affiliates is to be treated as general information only. None of the information by the company or contained herein is intended as an investment advice and offer to buy, sell, recommend, endorse, sponsor any security, company, or fund. Use of this information contained is to be used at your own risk, and the company, its partners, representatives, agents, employees, contractors assume no responsibility or liability for any use or misuse of such information. We all understand that future trading does contain a fair amount of risk, and is not for every investor. An investor could potentially lose all or more of their initial investment, and only risk capital money that can be lost without jeopardizing one's financial security should be used for trading, and only those individuals with sufficient risk capital should consider trading. Again, nothing contained herein is a solicitation to offer, buy, sell futures, options, or forex, and past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. All right. So now that we got the risk disclosure out of the way here, guys, we'll go ahead and move into the news and see what news we have in store today that could potentially impact the markets. All right. So we have PCE reporting, or had reported here. We have core PCE that has reported as well. Consumer spending reporting, and then we have Fed member Bowman speaking. Okay. So see, real personal consumption month over month, employment costs also reporting, and then we have some earnings coming in later this morning. We got Exxon, and we got Chevron, a couple of big ones there. Okay. All right. So now that we've gotten both the review of the news and let's see, we'll go ahead and move on to the portal here, and we'll go ahead and start off with let's see, our normal market here. We always start off with that is the gold market. Okay, so here we are reviewing the gold market. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at the daily, and based on some of the activity that we've had over the last couple of days, gold has been on a bit of a run of late. Okay, we've broken some structure here on the daily chart. Okay, go ahead and remove some of my drawings here. We've created a gap, okay, to the upside. And now we opened above the this daily candle here that we have here on the left hand side. So on the daily, we continue to show signs. Okay, let's do this one more time. Okay, how about? Hopefully, it should be visible now. If I can get some confirmation on that aspect, that'd be awesome. Okay, perfect. All right. So as I was saying, on the daily chart, we still very much in a bullish move in this market. Okay. Check something here real quick, guys. Okay. All right. So yeah. So again, daily still very much bullish. See, taking a look here. Moving on to the 4-hour chart. I'm just going to move this over here Move this. Moving on to the 4-hour chart. Okay, let's speed this process up here a little bit. We have a developing kind of engulfing candle, all right, in the market, right? Again, indicating that there still seems to be a fair amount of interest to continue to buy. Okay, so we have our volume delta is also aligned with that. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and mark this area below here. Let's see if I can locate my, yeah, so this area right here, I suspect will continue to be supportive. Okay, that's the gap that was generated there. Okay, we have a developing 4-hour, as we've already mentioned, with a volume delta that's positive, all looking positive on the 4-hour. Okay, we have our developing initial balance. Okay, we had a move above and above our VWAP. Okay, but we are still technically battling it a little bit. Okay, price wise, assuming that price can remain above VWAP, that there's obviously the potential that we could potentially see higher prices in this market. Okay, uh, VWAP being kind of our line in the sand here. Okay, so let me go ahead and open up our fixed range value profile, and let's get a sense for where our price is in relation to yesterday's value here. Okay, and you can see that we're right smack in the middle. Okay, so we're kind of an area of balance of value, right, indicating that we could potentially stay in a consolidated range in today's session. Okay, in order to really kind of start to see that maybe that we might move into some sort of initiative move here. Well, we'd like to see if we can get above this value area high level, which also happens to be our initial balance high. Okay, so if we are going to make continue in this uptrend, well, we need to get or need to make a new high. All right, so let's see. We'll go ahead and open up our ADR here and see where we are in relation. So we're in the middle of our average daily range. Okay. We're also, let's see, we're going to move this over as well. Change this to London for now. Okay. You can see where we are in relation to average session range. So yeah, we're kind of right smack in the middle of it. Okay. So in an ideal world, if I'm going to be a buyer of this market, well, I'd like to be able to buy around this area here on average daily range low. Okay. That would be an ideal range for me to look to secure some sort of purchase here. Okay. So something along these lines. Okay. Now, if I am a seller of the market, well, value area high would not be a bad location, okay, to secure a sell, right? I can use value area high, the highs of value, okay, as my kind of stop region, right? Because if price does manage to get above value, then my view that price can head lower is inaccurate, right? So we're at an area now that could maybe, if could offer us maybe a reasonable short to the downside. Okay, assuming that we can get this bearish candle to remain in its now. We have to understand that our view of this is a bit counter trend, right? Because we are seeing on the higher time frame that the market is quite bullish, but certainly for kind of a little bit of a scalp, maybe a full rotation to value, maybe down to 2837 is not an unreasonable view to have. Okay. All right. We have initial balance. We have our ranges. We'll forego the identifying the levels in the interest of time today, guys. I do apologize for that, but I will call out 2864 on the upside on the ASR side and 2835.6 on the downside. These are kind of logical areas to maybe, if we're going to remain in this kind of range kind of price action, these would be logical areas to secure buys and sells. 2835.6 on the buy side, and 2864 to the sell side, if we are going to kind of remain in a little bit of a range today. Okay. All right. I think that's pretty much what I have to say. This again, after the big move that we've been experiencing in gold of late, it is not unreasonable to think that maybe the market is taking a day to kind of digest the progress that it's made here, okay, before it decides to make another move, okay. So, and the fact that we are inside balance again speaks to that, okay. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the crude oil chart, okay, and let's take a look and see what crude oil has to offer here, okay. All right, so crude oil, we'll go ahead and start off with our daily chart. Take a look and see what the daily chart is telling us. Well, again, in this market, again, it appears that we are looking to go head lower. Okay, now we do appear to be losing a little bit of momentum. Okay, and that stands to reason here, right? Because we are kind of in some cases have exceeded some of these consolidation ranges, areas of potential support here on the left hand side. Okay, 71, 68 seem to be logical levels, support levels for this market. Okay, so we still appear to be in a bearish trend in crude oil on the daily chart. Moving on to the 4-hour chart. 4-hour chart. Okay, again, we are creating this series of lower lows and lower highs. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and turn this off here for a moment, just to kind of crystallize that view here a little bit. You can see that we are making lower lows and lower highs. We continue to create bearish structure in this market. Okay, moving on to the 30-minute chart. 30-minute chart, we have our developing initial balance. Okay, we managed to get above VWAP, only to be met with sellers. Okay, so right now we got selling wicks on both sides here. We had a rather strong bearish candle here, and we're developing even a stronger candle. Now, what is not aligned at the moment is that we have bearish candles, a lot of selling. Right, we have a bearish candle, but that doesn't seem to be aligned with what we're seeing on the volume delta side. Okay, we have far more buyers than sellers. So for me, this doesn't compute as maybe a continued move to the downside, because this volume delta is not aligned with the current direction of the market. Okay, so we'll go ahead and open up our fixed range volume profile. We'll get a sense here of where price is in relation to value. And I suspect that we're probably in the middle somewhere here. Okay, so there we are. Actually, right at the edge of value here. Okay, right at the edge of value. Okay, so it does stand to reason that we might see some, buyers here, right? Assuming that this is indeed an impulse move to the upside, and we can honestly hold this value area low, then I would say that there's a reasonable chance that we continue to the upside here. Okay. Otherwise, it most likely will follow suit with what we're seeing on the higher time frame. Okay, so this level right here, assuming that the buyers are indeed serious, and I'm looking at volume delta here, which with a little bit of a surprise, honestly, given these candles here, but it does appear that there are some maybe buyers kind of nibbling around this value area low level. Okay, so if we do manage to hold here, okay, and price is able to close above, say, 73, okay, then I would say that we have a reasonable chance to get back to the highs of the day. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and draw in my anchor VWAP, and I'm gonna draw in that anchor VWAP for London here. Okay, so let's locate London right about there. Okay, there's London. See if I can get my anchor VWAP to behave here. Right about there. All right, there's our anchor VWAP. Okay, so we are right technically below our daily VWAP, below our anchor VWAPs. We're below London, and really the only thing that's kind of holding us for now is value area low. So two scenarios. We value area low holds and we get above 73. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and draw 73 as a kind of a resistance level here. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and draw in 73 as our resistance right about there. Okay, so that's a resistance level. Okay, if we do manage to get above, then I would say that maybe we have a chance to get back to the highs of day on Thursday. If that's not the case, and we close below value and below initial balance low, then we could head back down to say 72, right? Maybe yeah, lows of 72, maybe even as low at 72 seems to be kind of the logical choice here. Okay, so that's kind of what I'm seeing in the crude oil market. I'm going to go ahead and open up again, in the interest of time here, I do normally have some price levels here for us to look at, but I'm in the interest of time, I'll just kind of call these levels out. Okay, so we have average daily range here at 74, high on the high side, and then this 72 level we were talking about, 72.35 is a logical level here that we've already received a bounce. Okay, we have received a bounce at this level, but it has not been able to sustain that reversal. ASR also equally around this 72 level. So this 72 level seems to be in a logical area for maybe an opportunity. Okay, maybe we make a move down this way, and then maybe we get another secondary kind of move along those lines. Okay. If I remain a seller of this market, well, I'd like to sell strength. That would be a logical place to sell strength. If we do manage to close below initial balance low, then I can use initial balance low as an area for to participate in a short trade. Okay, so a few scenarios here. Okay, a couple of bearish scenarios and at least one, maybe two bullish scenarios here. Okay, so we'll just have to wait and see what price does here at these levels, and then based on that, we will act accordingly. All right. Well, moving on to the Nasdaq. All right, I know that folks are probably anxious to hear what on the Nasdaq. Okay, so again, taking a quick peek at the daily. Okay, you can see that we have been making some strides to the upside here. So go ahead and close this off and close this off, and we'll close off initial balance here for the moment. Remove some drawings. Okay, there we are. Okay, so here we are in some sort of consolidation range. Okay, some sort of flag pattern of sorts. Okay, we have the highs there. We're going to go ahead and draw our channels here. You can see that we seem to be in some sort of bearish channel. Okay, of late on the daily. Okay, so a lot of overlapping candles here. Okay, seem to be in some sort of range. Moving on to the 4-hour chart. Okay, 4-hour chart again seem to be grinding higher. Okay, a lot of wicks on both ends of these candles, and currently we are developing a little bit of a bearish candle over by this gap that was created back in was that, what day is that? Gap on Sunday. Okay, this gap lower. Okay, so there's obviously the potential that we fill this gap before we make any sort of reversal in price. Okay, so this area right here, I would say, is I think still maybe another opportunity. We maybe make a move like this before we see something like this. Okay, that's kind of what I'm sensing here on the 4-hour chart. Okay, looking at the 30-minute chart. 30-minute chart. Again, we have this developing bearish candle here that's wiping out some hopeful buyers here at the moment. If we do manage to close below, this daily VWAP, then that could be kind of the how you say, the igniter here for maybe a move. Okay. We'll go ahead and draw in my fixed range volume profile and get a sense for where we are in relation to yesterday's value here. Okay. And let's see, right about there. Okay. Drag that across to there. Okay. So here we are above yesterday's value, which is bullish, right? And so again, if this would be, I would say the value area high would be a logical level, right? That we can use as an area of potential support, okay, in this market, and that would offer us, maybe an opportunity along these kind of lines, okay. But until that point, I don't see any reason why price cannot come back down. Okay, we had a little gap open here as well to the upside. I don't see any reason why we can't, if we do break some structure, that we cannot revisit value area high before we make any sort of significant move up again to the upside. Okay. So that's kind of what I'm going to be waiting for. I'm going to be looking, if I'm a buyer, I'm going to be looking for maybe a better location for my buy. Um, um, this certainly VWAP could offer me that location, but as of right now, it doesn't appear all that strong. Okay, so let's go ahead and open up our. Let's see. I wanted to open up my anchor VWAP here and take a look and see where we are in relation to London here. Okay, seems like we're kind of hovering right around the highs. Okay, so let's do that and locate that again. There we are. Okay, so again, we're right, kind of a very flat VWAP here. We did manage to cross below it, and looks like we are challenging this daily VWAP. So if we do get a close below, then I don't see any reason why we don't revisit value area high, and this might be an area that could serve as maybe a location for a reversal in current price action. Okay. Otherwise, if we do accept value, right, then I would say that we have a reasonable chance to get through and through a full rotation of value today. So quite a big distance here from 21,762 down to 21,480. Okay, would make for a very nice move here. Okay, but first order of business for us is to wait for initial balance to establish, and then decide what direction the participants want to take this market. Okay. So right now, my view is, I would say a bit bearish. Okay, given the fact that we are developing a bearish engulfing candle. The only thing that kind of, I guess, would kind of change my view on this is that if we started to make a new high, right? If we're able to get above 21,800, then maybe my view of maybe a potential move down to value area high is not in the immediate future here. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and just kind of call out our ADR and ASR levels. So there's our ADR level. And then we'll open up our ASR level. Okay. So we have 21,904 as our ASR high. And then we have 21,887 as our average daily range high. Okay. So if I end up going long because price ends up holding this VWAP level, these 21,904 and 21,887 serve as nice targets for price. Okay, will serve as a good area where we might potentially see some reversal in price action. Okay, so right now I'm gonna be kind of keen here in watching what this current candle does. Okay, and see if it does manage to hold. And I'm going to go ahead and draw a little line in the sand, a little line here, also to indicate that I do need to see price to get above this level here to really kind of embrace the longs here. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to the ES market. We're about a minute away from the open here, so we'll take a look at this. Okay, so very similar kind of price action that we're seeing at the moment around VWAP. Looking at the daily, we see that price is trying to get higher. Okay, we're seeing a move, very much a bullish in nature. Okay, so we have a initiative move here, kind of a little bit of a retracement. We kind of filled the gap. Okay, we filled the gap that was generated on Sunday. Okay, or actually in the process of filling the gap. All right, and if we do fill that gap, well, if if we do fill that gap, this should hopefully it could offer us something along these lines, right? Right. We wouldn't want to see price get above, I would say, 6150. Okay. If price manages to get above 6150, then I would say that we have a reasonable chance of seeing some higher pricing here. Okay. And then I start looking at some fib extensions and taking a look and see where price can go. And I would say 6,300 does not seem out of the cards here. Okay. Assuming that this is a initiative swing, the 6,300 does not seem like a target that's out of the question based on what I'm seeing on the price. Okay. Moving down to the 4-hour chart, the market is technically open here. So we see that we have in the process of filling this gap that was established on Sunday. Again, this could be an area that could cause price to reverse back. Okay. If I'm going to embrace, so this area in general, right? We're kind of in a seller area. Okay. We have average daily range high here at 6141. That's kind of a logical area that we could see a potential reversal in price. Okay. ASR is already open. So let's go ahead and move down to the 30-minute chart and see what the 30-minute chart has to say. We're going to go ahead and open up our initial balance here. It's since the market is technically open. Okay. There's a very narrow initial balance range that's being established here. Price continues to hold above our daily VWAP. Again, some evidence that maybe we may see some higher pricing. Okay. The line in the sand that I'm drawing here is I would say 6130. Price would need to get above 6130, right? Close above 6130, and then maybe I can use 6130 as my kind of I say reference level that will support a move that maybe will take me up to the highs here, 6150. Okay, so that's kind of my current kind of bullish scenario. If we are unable to close above, right, then at some point maybe we make a move to the downside. In order for me to kind of begin to embrace that, I would need to see price get below VWAP. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and draw in my anchored VWAP. So this is my anchored VWAP here at the start of London here, right about there. Okay, there's my start of London, and you can see that price is below that now. Okay, so here we are. Again, price is again failing to get above this anchored VWAP. All right. If we can get priced maybe to get below this daily VWAP, we may have something that would offer us maybe an execution that would take us back down to 6,100. Okay, so that's kind of what I'm seeing right now. I'm going to be patient. I'm going to be waiting for this initial balance range to establish. Once we have the initial balance range established here, then I'll wait for maybe an extension of some sort in one direction or the other, and then and see if that offers me an opportunity for an execution. Okay, to the downside. Right now, we seem to be content in hanging around the top end of the range here. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and open up I suspect I know what this is, but I'll open it up anyway. Our fixed range volume profile is what I'm referring to. And we'll go ahead and do this, drag that across to about here. All right, and there we are. We are above value. Okay, so similar area that we identified on the NASDAQ also exists in the ES. This would be kind of a logical area for price to reach potentially. And if it is reached, that would be a logical area to see price reverse. Okay. right? So value area high. Right now, we seem to be kind of on the upper third of the average daily range and average session range. This area here around 6150 would be a logical area where I would, if I'm more inclined on the short side, that would be a logical reference level, okay, to support a reversal short trade in the market, okay. But right now, we seem to be, a little bit indecisive. We do have a volume delta bar that indicates that maybe there are some buyers here around these levels, okay. Volume delta bar is currently positive. All right. So the question is, will it remain positive, or will it turn negative? Right now, price is not congruent with what I'm seeing on the volume delta bar. Okay, this is telling me conflicting information. I have a positive volume delta bar, but my price is a bit on the bearish side. Okay, so I'm not sure what to make of it. But what I do want to make of it is that maybe it's not 100% what I see on the price chart. Okay, so in any case, I'll continue to be patient, wait for the initial balance range to establish, and then look to make an execution of some sort. All right, we'll take a look at one last market here, the Dow. Okay, and again, we'll take a peek here at the daily chart. Okay, we have a little bit of a gap here. Okay, we're at the highs of highs in this market, right? We have I know we opened above this series of consolidating candles here in an otherwise bullish structure that we're in the midst of right now. Okay, we do see some volume delta bar that's negative. Okay, again, I would say kind of acting a little bit counter to what we're seeing on the other equity markets. Okay, it does seem that we're seeing a little bit more bullish action on the Dow than maybe some of the other equities. Moving on to the 4-hour chart. 4-hour chart, okay. We have on the 4-hour chart, we have a developing bearish candle that's aligned with volume delta. We are making a series of higher highs and higher lows. Okay. So again, speaks to maybe some potential upside. I think the only thing that would maybe counter that argument is the fact that we are developing a bearish candle at the moment. Okay, which could lead to some further bearish price action lower. Okay, moving on to the 30-minute chart. 30-minute chart, again, we're kind of in the middle of this average daily range. I'm going to go ahead and open up my fixed range volume profile here and locate the start of let's see. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Okay, let's see if I can manage to get the fixed range volume profile. There it is. Drag that across here. So there's our average daily range. Now you can see that while we're waiting for price to get to value, right? Price has already reached value, okay, in the Dow, right? So we had price come to the value area low, and for now it seems to be has been a bit rejected, okay. Price rejected value from yesterday, okay, indicating that maybe we do see some further upside in this market, okay. Line in the sand that I'm going to make here is the level here, right about so. Okay, so this 45,222 is going to be a level in the sand that I'm going to be looking for and to see if we do manage. If we are going to remain bullish, we are going to get above this 45,225. That will obviously in turn cause price to close above this initial balance range that's been established, and then we have a reasonable chance of getting up to some of the highs that are established by the average daily and session ranges. Okay, so this looks I guess a bit more bullish, I guess, than what I'm seeing in either the Dow, I mean not the Dow, the ES or the NASDAQ. So we'll have to see and wait to see if we do indeed get a break. Okay. of initial balance and maybe a break above this area that I identified as resistance at 45,222. Okay, so with that, I think that I'm just going to take one last peek here of the Nasdaq. Now that the market is opened, I just was curious to see what the Nasdaq is doing. So again, we see a little bit of bullish price action. Okay, that now you see we were seeing this bearish candle, and we were seeing volume delta was also was bullish. So that was kind of counter. It was giving me maybe some indications that there were some maybe buyers kind of nibbling around this area. Okay. All right. Well, I think that's pretty much what I have here today, guys. Again, sorry again for the late start and the lack of price levels, but hopefully you have a sense here of how to approach the markets today. Again, today being Friday, this is kind of a capital preservation day. So if you've had a good week, today's not the week, not the day to give it all back, right? So we want to keep that in mind. If you've had a good week, then we want to scale back some of our trades, ensure that we've had to secure that we walk away with some equity at the end of the week. So we want to be careful on that front. So yeah, other than that, we'll close the session off as we normally do. Trade well, trade safe, trade like a pro. Be a market trader, guys. So have an excellent trading day today, and I will catch up with you guys on Monday.